All right. Good morning. I just re recorded my Snapchat video 3 times. It's 2 minutes long, and I wanted to do a regular size video for it, but sorry about the movement, I'm sitting out. But I had to re record it 3 times. So now I'm doing Robinhood, the stock. I hope the video saves. It would be great if it did. But yeah, we're going to get into it. Let's do it. Make sure if you enjoy the video, subscribe. Don't care about likes, subscribe. Yeah. Okay, so in order to make sure my video actually saves, what I'm going to do is not use my webcam here because that was kind of the problem for whatever reason, I don't know. But anyway, this is Robinhood. Let's get into it. Target price $26 seems good. Long-term growth rate 100%. Wow. So everything in the Snapchat looks solid. Let's get into sales. One thing about Robinhood is that let me just get off of the Snap chart for you. So Robinhood has been going up a lot in the past couple months. I mean, they were down. They were below $8 at one point. They're at 23 now. I just recently bought a few shares right at this dip here. So I am not exactly in the best price position, with my average probably being right around 24. But in terms of long term, I think this could be at $30, $40 and even higher if they continue their growth. But anyway, not investment advice. Do not buy this unless you want to. But sales has increased. This is quarters, but sales have increased very consistently. Let's go back to the years for this bad boy. They did just go public a few years ago, but sales have been increasing a lot. Estimated to be at an all-time high this year. Operating income, they are positive or supposed to be positive for the first time this year. Let's actually, sorry for flopping around, but let's go back to the quarters for this one. Operating income is supposed to be positive for the first time this year. They've also had positive operating income every single quarter so far this year. I'm giving that full credit. Even though it went down from last quarter, it is going up on the years, and I like it. So net income, they just recorded their first profit ever last December. It's been going up since then. A bit of a dip last quarter, but I'm not sure when their earnings are, but they should be soon. Or at least they should be out here soon, in a month or so, but we'll see. But again, I'm probably, even though it took a dip that last quarter, I'm going to give them the full point for it because they just recently became profitable in the past year, which is fantastic. EPS has also been growing. I mean, they were negative since their IPO date, so it's just nice to see that it's positive now. I'll go back to the years for this one just to visualize it a little better. EPS is positive for the first time, which is fantastic. This is exactly what I want to see from Snapchat. So the fact that it is happening with this company is great. Total shares, it looks like, I mean, I'm not going to say it's necessarily decreasing, but it's been stable for 2 years at least. Actually went down a little bit. And considering they started with 850 and they're at 883, that's not terrible. I mean, they have been diluting it, but I'm going to give that the 0.5. Let's go into the balance sheet, see what this looks like. So cash looks good. Now, the thing with them is they do not have much of a balance sheet going on here. Fairly small operation stuff, but Their total debt is fully coverable by their cash, which is great. They have a lot of short term, very little long term, which is kind of weird. But also, it's because they're a newer company. All of their debt hasn't been there long enough to be long term yet, I think, for some of it. But anyway, their cash is solid. Assets are massively increasing. Short term debt, it is coverable by their cash, but they have a lot of it. So that's half a point. Short term, long term decreasing, not a chance. Retained earnings, I can't imagine they're positive. No, they're not. Okay, retained earnings are negative. Not the end of the world there, but let's head over to the cash flows, see what that looks like. If it loads. So operating cash flow, positive this year, estimate, negative last year, positive the year before. So it seems like they're improving at the very least. Let's actually go to quarters here. That might paint a better picture because they are fairly new. They just went public a few years ago. So honestly, with the operating cash flow here, they did have a big positive of $1 billion last quarter. So like, I really don't want to give them the full credit here because they haven't been consistent with it for more than, I don't think they even have 2 positive quarters in a row, but they're improving it, which I like. So I'm giving that the 0.5. Investing is negative. Great. Financing, big positive. Do not want to see that. They issued a lot of debt in the last quarter and in the quarters before that. Not really what I like to see. They've been issuing a ton of debt. Not what you want to see. So hopefully that's what all their short term is from. They issued all this debt in the past year. Not great. But we'll see where they take it. Maybe it'll improve. Their free cash flow is basically the same story as their operating cash flow. Actually, it's almost the exact same thing. Big positive this quarter. Not really too consistent yet, but I'm still going to do the exact same thing where I give it the half credit because they have been improving it. So let's head over to the use of cash, see what that looks like. The repayment of debt is going to be nothing. Now, 2022, they had a good year. 2023, they issued $10 billion of debt, apparently, which is insane, but not crazy. Yeah, not great for the debt issuance. That is going to be a 0 there. Repurchase of stock. So they did do some last year, which is great. That is actually their first time. I'm hoping, let's go into the quarters, see what that looks like. So it looks like they did it again in the past quarter, 97 million. That's nothing crazy, but it is something, which is good. I think I'm going to give it, I could give it the 0.5 here, only because they also issued stock in between there, which isn't really what I want to see, but not necessarily a bad thing. I'm going to give it the good old 0.5 here, and let's get into the ratios. I could show the segment history, but I mean, we all saw the sales growth. It is awesome for them. So I am going to go into the quarters for this only because they just recently became profitable. And look at their net margin already, 21.5% in their third quarter of profitability. In my opinion, that is fantastic. Full credit there. I love it. ROA, ROE just became positive this year. Looks like the ROE is increasing. ROA is doing the same. Love it. Hope it continues. Debt to total equity is mostly, I mean, actually it's decreasing, which is great. It's been decreasing essentially every quarter for the past 2 years, which is fantastic. Can't complain there. Yeah, that's it. So this is Robinhood. Got a 72. Not the greatest score, not the worst score either, though. Beat Snapchat by a lot. Snapchat has a lot of income statement issues. But again, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to subscribe, you can. And I'll see you next time.